Blessed day, soul family. Welcome back. Another installment here of the Tai Chi calendar series for 2026. And today is Tuesday, so Tai Chi Tuesday. And we're continuing on this theme of massage. I've been wanting to expand a little bit on it. Yesterday in Mental Health Monday, we talked a little bit about the concept of massage and the energy exchange, energy flow, quality and quantity, which is what we're looking for in Qigong. Quality of energy, feeling good, not feeling good, quantity of energy, um, feeling energized or feeling drained, fatigued, or empty, right? So, in TCM and in Chinese medicine, same thing. The the uh the concept and the idea is actually quite simple. Strategies for uh continued flow and circulation. If the chi can't flow, disease and illness can grow. So we have to remember that. Massage is one of those strategies that's used to sustain circulation or to improve circulation or to reestablish uh, circulation. So Tai Chi, what does Tai Chi Chuan have to do with massage? Tai Chi Chuan is comes from Tai Chi Chuan comes from old warriors who sought and aimed to heal their bodies, but not only their bodies. You can imagine, and they probably didn't have the vocabulary that they have today, but we understand the words PTSD, right? Trauma and trauma-induced uh, ailments, illnesses. A friend of mine once told me about the path toward enlightenment. It's loosely translated as the warrior, healer, priest journey. In the youth, the warrior dictates the journey. In middle age, the healer dictates the journey. And in the elder years, the priest dictates the journey. The healer is born out of the warrior and the trauma, and the priest is born out of the healer. So this is where Tai Chi Chuan comes from. And I'm not necessarily talking about martial arts, because if you are a martial artist and you're looking to find the best martial arts system, and the question is what's the criteria and how do you determine, and what are the markers, right? So I've studied a lot of martial arts, starting with karate, and when I was a child, I grew up doing Japanese karate. When I was an adult, I introduced myself to Filipino martial arts. I introduced myself to judo, um, and then eventually learned kung fu, Chinese kung fu, from my teacher, Dr. Yang. And many martial artists or people that are on the journey debate which martial arts is the best. And they like to test their skills, their strategies, the philosophies. The question is often, what's the container? What's the setting, right? Is it to the death, right? No one really wants to test themselves to the death these days, but in ancient times, Chinese martial artists did that. They tested themselves to the death. So we don't do that these days. We can't do that these days. It's not worth it. And we have laws and regulations. Cops are going to stop you if you try to do that in the street. And I mean, we could say yes, in the natural world, the male uh, of various species, the males fight to some sort of draw in competition for reproduction, passing on their genes. Well, with Chinese martial arts, what you have is the four schools of Qigong. The In ancient times, probably 8 to 10,000, maybe even more. The medical Qigong branch started just with sticks and stones and trying to massage the body, trying to heal the body, trying to restore um, systems, muscles, heal bones. And this is how Qigong originally started. Then you have scholar Qigong came about, spiritual Qigong came about, martial Qigong. I can't remember the exact order, but it was more of along the lines of medical Qigong that began and started the Qigong school. Taiji Chuan is a martial art, and so it comes from the martial Qigong, but a lot of these schools have overlaps. The concept of meditation, contemplation, and enlightenment is the pursuit of Taiji Chuan, a Taiji Chuan practitioner. They are a meditator. They are pursuing enlightenment and uh, aligning with the seasons. They are trying to heal themselves with herbs, especially Taoists. So this is where the concept of massage comes in as a strategy for restoring and maintaining balance, preventing illness and disease, and preventing injury, right? So let's just take our lives, for example, your life. How much disagreement, how much dispute, how much conflict is in your life, right? In the human life. We could say that, and the Buddhist said that suffering is the first noble truth, in fact. Suffering exists. And what is the connection to suffering and conflict? What's a connection to suffering and pain and injury and conflict? All these things signal to us that balance needs to be either looked at or restored. So massage is one of those strategies that helps us to maintain balance. Tai Chi Chuan, because it's not used for martial arts today, these days, of course, a lot of people train it for martial arts. A lot of people train martial arts and combatives using Tai Chi Chuan practices, but I'm not necessarily talking about that in this series. It's great, and that is a foundation. The martial arts is a foundation to understand the deeper principles, the for morality and for building virtue. However, we're talking about um, energy circulation, energy flow. And Taiji Chuan is more so marketed these days for health. And it's challenging too because it's an Eastern concept, not a Western concept. So Western schools are not necessarily, Western science is not necessarily going to want to put the effort into an Eastern paradigm. And a Western paradigm can't really understand the Eastern paradigm. But as we talked about prior, uh, patience, people have seen that a combination of Eastern practices and Western protocols can be a great addition, a great marriage, and a great cohesion for rehabilitation, restoring balance. So Taiji Chuan gives us the opportunity and the ability for self massage. Remember, there's five regulations: body, breath, mind, chi, and spirit. Can massage and Tai Chi Chuan through one's lifetime help to facilitate circulation and flow within the body, with the breath? How about the mind? How about the energy? And how about the spiritual aspect? What does Tai Chi Chuan have to offer? So, my study and my pursuit actually goes deep into this. I want to know how deep this can go and how deep this can go. And my teacher, Dr. Yang, would ask us to continue to search for the deeper feeling. So that's why I wrote these books, these simple ebooks, Yin Yang Tai Chi and Couples Tai Chi for Couples, because the philosophy can, what we want to do with our knowledge is integrate it into everyday life. Isn't it the case? Isn't that so? Anything that you learn, you want to integrate it into everyday life. You want to be able to use it. Why learn it if you're not going to use it? These practices and principles have been used for thousands of years. So, another question, wouldn't we want to at least expose ourselves or learn about them to see how they can be integrated into our lives? And what about the contexts of the modern day? How can these philosophies give color to the suffering and the liberation from suffering in our modern day? War, conflict, strife, polarization. And does massage, the concept of massage, give us an opportunity to look deeper? I think so. If you think so, let me know. Let me know, because I want to align myself with those that agree and continue and deepen the conversation. Let's go to today's Tai Chi calendar installment. It's for June 2nd. It's our poetry for June 2nd. Our Tai Chi calendar series is available. That starts in January each year and goes into about July with daily Tai Chi Chuan practices from the 108 form. Our poetry for today, for June 2nd, comes from the book Tai Chi Ball Qigong by Dr. Yang, my teacher, and also David Grantham, a, uh, a disciple of Dr. Yang and brother as well. June 2nd, it is clear that Tai Chi is neither Wu Ji nor Yin Yang, but it is between them. It is the pivotal force or energy that causes the Wuji state to divide into the yin and yang, and also causes the yin yang to reunite to the state of Wuji. It is clear that Tai Chi is neither Wuji nor yin yang, but it is between them. It is the pivotal force or energy that causes the Wuji state to divide into the yin and the yang, and also causes the yin and yang to reunite to the state of Wuji. And if you've heard me talk before, you've heard this. And at the same time, if you're a student, it's important to review. So I think I mentioned this, but I didn't go deep last week. We know that we have the source Wu Ji, and the 10,000 things come from Wu Ji, right? What is between yin and yang and Wu Ji? What is in between yang and yin? What is in between all of the lines here? And what the passage is telling us is that Tai Chi is actually in between. Some people think that this is the symbol for Tai Chi, but it's a symbol for Yin Yang. This is the symbol for Wu Ji. So what is the symbol of Taiji and Taiji Chuan? That is the spiral. Taiji is what is between all things birthing and dying. Taiji is the force which facilitates nothing to something. It gives life. That's what the passage was saying. Likewise, it's the force which facilitates something to nothing. The Taiji symbol represents the energetic pattern along the space-time continuum, whereby one yields two, two becomes four, four births eight, and so on. And so the spiral best represents this natural force which creates and destroys. It's the best pattern to depict nature's spirit of creation. So it's not yin yang. It's not wu ji. Now, what is the case for this in the context, within the context of massage? What is the case for this within the context of massage? Where do we go here? How do we use this for the sake of massage, right? Well, well, we want to align ourselves with the Tao. We want to follow the natural way, right? So we want to harmonize our lives with the circadian rhythm and the sun cycles. And the day we wake up and we do all our things, and the night we rest. In the seasons, we're not going to try to grow food in the winter. We're going to grow food in the spring. We're going to grow food in the summer. We're going to rest and calm down in the winter. In massage, if we're using skill and technique, we want to align ourselves with the Tao, with the way, with the pattern of nature. So what's the pattern of nature, right? Not only that, when you have a knot, whether it's a physical knot or an energetic knot within the body, how do you massage that knot so that the energy can start to release? There's a lot of strategies, and people have all sorts of massage strategies. But the way that a knot is going to open up, if you want to invite it to open, could it not be through aligned with the Tao through the pattern that nature follows? And if we don't know what the pattern that nature follows is, well, we could go out and look at nature, but we also know from Fibonacci that it's a spiral. Interestingly, the classics tell us that the spiral is what gives birth to yin and yang, right? It is clear that Tai Chi is neither Wu Ji nor Yin Yang, but is between them. It is the pivotal force or energy that causes the Wu Ji state to divide into the Yin and the Yang, and also causes the Yin Yang to reunite. That is what Tai Chi is. So, Tai Chi is also exchange. Taiji Chuan is energetic exchange for the sake of harmony. Taiji Chuan is also connection and communication for the sake of harmony. Taiji Chuan on the individual level is to facilitate balance, right? And Tai Chi on the interpersonal level is also to facilitate balance. So on Thursday, we're going to talk a little bit about the conflict and massaging conflict. What if we used and utilized massage, the practice, strategy, and the concept, and even the pattern of nature to facilitate circulation and flow when competing forces or warring factions have conflict? in this case, energy blockage, right? Or meeting force with force. In Tai Chi, we talk about the consequences of meeting force with force and uh, yielding and neutralizing, yielding for neutralizing. When it comes to conflict, we don't want to escalate conflict, right? We want to harmonize and neutralize conflict, right? So how would we do that? When two forces are competing, how do we bring them back to Wu Ji? How do we bring back two forces, two energies who are perceiving separateness back to union, right? Remember that what the poetry says? Energy that causes the Wuji state to divide into the yin and yang and also causes the yin yang to reunite to the Wuji state. What is the yin yang that needs to reunite to the Wuji state? Well, that is the hero and the villain. That's the victim and the attacker. That is the two that have to come back into one. One second here. This one, right? So oftentimes we look at this image and we say that I'm pointing to the screen as if you could see that these two are going to come out of yin yang and come out of wu ji. However, remember going back to unity consciousness and even conflict resolution, these two seemingly separate who have the same source mentally, psychologically, need that guidance to understand and to remember that they come from the same source. So that's conflict resolution. We'll come back into that. Interestingly, as well, when mind and body, personal mind and body, aren't in harmony, Tai Chi for blood flow, Tai Chi for heart, Tai Chi for legs, Tai Chi for posture, Tai Chi Chuan for spine health, Tai Chi Chuan for breath awareness, Tai Chi Chuan for moving meditation, all those mind, body, somatic exercises and skills, you then see that Tai Chi Chuan thus uh, facilitates the harmony of mind and body through what we could call self-massage, right? Stimulating stimulating slow, continuous movement for slow, continuous blood flow. Self-massage. Tai Chi Tuesday. So let me know what you think. And Wellness Wednesday will continue on this concept tomorrow and talk about the more of the health aspects, the wellness aspects, the lifestyle implications and strategies, but also the domains of wellness. How can Taiji Chuan and Qigong massage influence the eight domains of wellness as we've outlined them here in the calendar series? So let me know what you think, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until next time, may your chi flow smoothly.